Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of Grassroots Racing Show.
Welcome to the Grassroots Racing Show. I'm Doug Thompson with my co-host and my brother Roger Thompson. And thanks for watching today. Roger, we are now into middle of March, a little bit later than that. And later in the show, we're going to go to Eastbay Raceway again in Florida because we sent Mike Kraft and the film crew there. Spent a lot of money getting Mike to Florida and back, and so he's done a fantastic job. We're going to be showing a modified race a little later today in Eastbay, and looks like the weather's finally beginning to break. And we're shooting this segment today at the Kansas Auto Racing Museum, and we are inside of the Sentinel Building studio. And Roger, with the weather changing, we've got 2 more Sentinel buildings coming into this complex. That's going to make a total of 5 Sentinel buildings. Building a new grocery store that's 100 by 80 foot, and we're building an addition on to the Auto Racing Museum with the Sentinel buildings that we'll use to shoot some more studio shots from Sentinel Building studio, and more racing related stuff. Got a lot going on.
I bet Sentinel likes you.
They are fond of me. They will take my calls anyway when I call, and they're a great company to work with. I ordered the buildings, and they've been very patient as I've meandered through what I want and bothered them with it, and they're a great company to work with, and I'm looking forward to some segments that we're going to be doing with Sentinel buildings later. One of the things, you know, when we take a look at the footage that Mike Kraft has sent us, and those are big races in Florida, big races for the winners and big for the participants. I know you've been to Florida and raced there, and I've been to Florida.
Well, I'm still there. I'm there now. You're filming
Florida?
From the studio, but I'm at Eastbay now.
And now we're doing this by a live satellite shot.
Yeah, they kind of got me, Glenda's
Split
got
screen.
me, whatever you guys call it in the business. I don't know, but yeah, I've had enough of this cold weather in Kansas, so I'm mentally at Eastbay.
Well, there you go. I guess I'm mentally with Mike Kraft in Eastbay, Florida, too, so we're not really at the Sentinel Building studio. But, you know, I wanted to finish up some of the questions we had from last year's Grassroots Racing Show we never got a chance to get to, and here's one Sam Braddock from Concordia sent in to us, and it says, where do you film the show, and where you... no, it doesn't say that. It says, where do you film the show from, and will you ever film the show from a racetrack?
And his name's not Braddock.
Baddock.
Yes.
Okay, well, it makes a difference to him.
Yes, it does.
Well, what's the answer?
I don't know. I didn't listen to the question.
Good, good. Wants to know where we film from. We're filming at the Kansas Auto Racing Museum, and that's the auto racing complex located just south of Interstate at the Chapman exit at 286 in the middle of Kansas. And will you ever film from a racetrack? We film from racetracks all the time.
That's what Eastbay's all about.
Yeah, we send Mike Kraft and film crew out, and for 2013, what we're doing is sending Mike Kraft to racetracks not only in Kansas, but also part of Missouri and Nebraska and some in Oklahoma, because our show is also on OKTV from Enid, Oklahoma. And it covers you know, all the way across the state.
Mike's covered the World of Outlaws. He's covered the dirt, IMCA, the IMCA cars, the what's that other class?
USMTS.
Yeah, USMTS. And I think that's what we're going to see at Eastbay coming up too. I looked at the roster of some of the guys that are down there, and they are from all over. Kenny Wallace is in that, David Rudiman. I don't know if there's any relation, but a guy named Buzzy Rudiman.
Oh, Buzzy.
Yeah, he's from Florida. Most of the guys are from Florida. There's a few from New York and Indiana. I did see there's a guy from California that's entered that race.
Wow.
So they're all over. I looked and looked, and I didn't see your name down there or your car. Are you
not
there?
I'm mentally there,
You're
remember?
mentally there, and you're mentally racing there?
Mentally racing there.
Well,
I'll be in the winning car this night, whatever it's going to be.
I'll be mentally trying to see how well you do with your
I'll do great.
Speech after
I'll
the
do
race.
great. Yeah, well, my acceptance speech will be fine.
It's been my experience that the further you live from a racetrack, the better you perform.
Oh, no question about it. And the fewer of your friends who are see the racing, the better you perform.
That's
too.
right. Yeah, you
won lots and lots of races until internet came out and people now results are everywhere. I thought you won that. Well, I thought I did too.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing about getting old. We can always daydream a little bit and go back.
Yeah, all of the stories why you did much better.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're familiar with that. Speaking of these big races in Florida, what's the biggest race you feel like you've ever won? Or maybe it isn't even one that you won, it's a race you performed your best in.
I would say I really liked running the winged late models. And I remember particularly that Branson, before Branson was Branson, when we all raced there, and we lined up for that trophy dash. And there was the guy that had raced there the night before was Larry Phillips, and I lined up next to that guy from Arkansas. What was his name? Still races.
Moyer?
Moyer.
Billy Moyer?
Moyer, and then there was Kenny Schrader in that race, and we ran off and didn't run off and hide from them, but we won it, and we were fast. And a matter of fact, we beat Larry Phillips' track record he set the night before. We beat it by a second.
That's right. You came down the second night, because I was in we qualified, ran the trophy dash the first night. I didn't win it. I don't even remember running it. But the next night, when you came down, second round of qualifying,
right,
I thought you were probably going to say one of the ones you were happiest with was that race in Topeka with the wing cars. And you didn't even have a wing on the car. Remember that one, that 100-lapper? That was a fun one.
That was, yeah, a 100-lapper, and we started in the back, had to qualify through the B and started last.
Oh, this is one of those stories. I was there, so
well, I mean, it was true. It was true. Me and Joe Wallace qualified. We both started behind these wing cars, and neither one of us had a wing. And we made it all the way up to behind the Pizza Hut car that had a wing, out to second place, when the fan came flying through the hood.
I remember.
That was a fun race, 100 laps, and I didn't even break a sweat.
No, you didn't.
That was the Winter Nationals. That's because it's about 20 degrees out.
Hey, we got to take a break, but we'll be back in a minute. Stay tuned. You're watching Grassroots Racing.
Hi, I'm Pat Neal. Thanks for tuning in to watch this edition of Grassroots Racing.
Welcome back to the Grassroots Racing Show. I'm Doug Thompson with co-host Roger Thompson. Roger, we were talking about earlier before we took the break to pay some bills that we sent Mike Kraft and the film crew off to Eastbay Raceway in Tampa, Florida. And the footage we're going to watch tonight is the modified, a 75-lap modified event. Great racing, good field of cars.
Yeah, and I'm going to do this for the fans. I'm going to cover my eyes and point down to the roster and see which car Doug's driving.
I am
18, number 18.
I'm the 71-year-old guy, Buzzy Rudiman.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's where your finger's pointing.
Oh, I see it in my glasses.
I'll take it. I'll take Buzzy Rudiman's car. He's bound to be good.
You're about Buzzy's
the same
age.
Yeah, about the
see
same
how that
age.
Works.
And I fail to see what the distinction is, why they have to list his age in there. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, we're going to go to Eastbay Raceway and check the races. Stay tuned.
Jewel out of Madisonville, Kentucky. Lance Matheson out of Minnesota, Adams out of Wisconsin, and then a pair of Florida racers, Devin Dixon and Roger Kraus. So 26 cars, time for you to pick your favorite, cheer them on, 75 trips around. So here it is, race fans, chance for you to stand up and send them off. Let's show your appreciation to them. They'll be waving at you as they come down the front straightaway, the Cars and Stars of the 14th Annual Winter Nationals. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Down the back straightaway, the Brandon Ford pace truck. Off onto the infield, caution lights go down. We are ready to do it. It's Matt Cooper in 18, Bryce Jewell in 0. Sit back, relax, and enjoy it. It's showtime! Matt Cooper will jump to the race lead. Bryce Jewell going to slide right in behind him. He'll jump down to the bottom groove. Kevin Adams going to move to third. Matheson is right there. And here comes Roger Kraus. Kraus going to try to roll her in the outside of the 9 car. Matheson are going to work on the 0 as Kevin Adams got him for second and 40. It'll be Matt Cooper, Kevin Adams, Bryce Jewell, Dale Matheson, and Roger Kraus right now. That's your top 5 as they run down the back straightaway. 6th is Devin Dixon. 7th is Kyle Bronson. Then it's the 2 NASCAR stars running door to door. Kenny Willis on the inside. The 12 of David Rudiman just went by. Matt Cooper here in the 18 car has driven away. The 40 of Adams is second. Now Matheson trying to search around the middle groove here. He saw Roger Kraus up there a minute ago. He's going to try to use that clear groove as Jewell not in it. So he's going to try to get by him into turn number 1. back straightaway, Matt Cooper in the 18. Kevin Adams in the 40. Bryce Jewell, Dale Matheson, and Roger Kraus still your top 5 runners. Down in front straightaway here, Matheson and Kraus. A great battle side by side for 4th.
Stay with us. We'll be back after these important commercial messages.
Corrosive materials like oil, antifreeze, and salt can severely damage your concrete garage floors. That's why American Garage Floor is proud to offer such a large selection of garage flooring products. Durable PVC vinyl parking mats and garage flooring tile extend the life of your garage floors by protecting it. American Garage Floors, America's leading producer of parking mats and garage floor tiles.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Petty of the Grassroots Racing Show on behalf of Grail Engine Technologies. By 2030, the world will consume 60% more energy than today. And while the demand for energy grows, the supply of fossil fuels will not. Grail Engine is working to help solve today's energy problems to avoid the energy problems of the future. Grail Engine Technologies, the design that will change the world.
This is Scotty Anderson, and you're watching my favorite show, Grassroots Racing.
Continues to be Matt Cooper, the Tennessee racer. Trying to run away and hide from the field here. I'll tell you what, though, David Rudiman has got something cranking on the outside of the 12. Rudiman went by Kenny Wallace a minute ago, then he just went by Bart Hartman, and now he went by your defending champion, Devin Dixon. David Rudiman running in a groove all by himself on the outside. Keep your eye on the 12. David Rudiman used to running on black, slick, rubbered racetracks, right? He's right at home here as he has got a groove going to the 12. It'll continue to be all Matt Cooper, though. That battle for second, a pretty good one here as Bryce Jewell has run back down the 40 of Kevin Adams as they battle for the runner-up spot. Continues to be Cooper all alone. Then it's Adams, Jewell, Matheson, and Roger Kraus. Bronson is 6th. Good battle for 7th. Rudiman's got it. Bart Hartman wants it. 8th is Hartman. Now it's Rudiman. He just went by. 9th will be Devin Dixon. And 10th is Kenny Wallace. And in front straight away, Matt Cooper, the McKenzie, Tennessee racer. Boy, oh boy, would this be a gigantic victory for him. He's a good race car driver that's had a good career, but this right here would be a big one. And so far, he's the class of the field as he is going to encounter the back of the field here in a minute. David Rudiman still trying to roll around the outside. His NASCAR partner right behind him, Kenny Wallace. They're both using the outside groove. Not sure how long a set of tires lasts if you blister it around up there, but for now, they're looking like all-stars here as they're coming to the front here in the 12 and the 36. So Matt Cooper now at the back of the field as we work lap 12 of 75, so a long, long way to go as Matt Cooper now sees the back of the bus. See how easily or non-easily he is able to thread his way through lap traffic here. Well, that looked easy. He just went by the 27 end of the 6 and put him a lap down if we get this lap scored. He's working in the back of Mason Big Eagle's 00 car. We'll get that lap in the way he looks. As David Rudiman still rolling around the outside. He has cleared Hartman and he's going to work on Bronson. Here comes Rudiman. David Rudiman and Kyle Bronson again will battle. Give the spot to Rudiman now. So it's David Rudiman up to 6th, and now Bronson will fight right back. So we'll continue to battle here. At the front of the field, it is all Matt Cooper, but now, stuck in lap traffic, Kevin Adams and company beginning to reel him in. Adams cutting into the advantage quite a bit, actually, here in the 40 car. Still several drivers using that outside groove, trying to make some passes, but almost everybody down to the bottom. And Matt Cooper, he's got about 60 laps to try to run away from the field as he's stuck in lap traffic here. Kevin Adams begins to close in a big old hurry. Cooper had opened up a straightaway advantage. Now he's got about 5 car lengths. As Matt Cooper, well, now he does. I was going to say, I don't think he's going to live too dangerously trying to roll him on the outside, but he did that time. As Sean Flannery has had enough, he was slowing. And onto the infield went Flannery. So Matt Cooper made the right decision there as he was on the outside of him when he slowed onto the infield. And Cooper now going to go to work on Matt Miller here. Kevin Adams with 1 lap car between himself and your race leader. Bryce Jewell and Matheson trying to run him down as well. David Rudiman has finally given up the cushion and kind of ducked in line right behind Bart Hartman, and now Hartman going to go out there. Hartman going to try the outside here. He saw Rudiman run around there for a dozen laps or so, and he'll try to do the same thing. Matt Cooper now working to put Matt Miller a lap down. He's got himself a little bit more real estate there as Kevin Adams trying to run after him still. And we've got a car slowing on the back straightaway. We'll see if this causes a caution or not. That is Illinois' Jeff Curl. And he's going to pull up lame on the outside of the 4th turn, and the yellow will come out. So Jeff Curl, our first caution of this 75 lapper.
Get a flat right front? I think so. Yep.
Sure does. Flat right front. So the right front went down for Forest, Illinois' Jeff Curl. And we'll get set to go. This time by, again, it's Matt Cooper, 21 laps in. As we said, the fuel stop will be right around lap 40. We'll see. So less than 20 to go before that happens here for your race leader, Matt Cooper, in 18. Dale Matheson was scored 3rd of the line last time by, and just like last time, he's going to jump right to the outside. The 2 Northerners, Wisconsin and Minnesota, they run against each other quite often during the year. They will battle for the runner-up spot. Here comes the 9. Dale Matheson working on Buzzy Adams, but Buzzy making it pretty wide, hanging on to that 2nd spot. Matheson still 3rd, Jewell is 4, Roger Kraft still 5 as Matt Cooper now begins to drive away up front in 18. Matheson trying to make that new MB custom car work in a groove that basically nobody else is in, and now he's switched back to the bottom. Thought maybe he could sneak by Buzzy here on that restart. He couldn't quite do it, so he'll jump back in line and ride for a while as Matt Cooper's still running away up front at 18. So it's Matt Cooper with about an 8-car length advantage now. Make that 10 over Kevin Adams, and it's Matheson, Jewell, and the 9 of Roger Kraus. Outside of the top 5, it is still Kyle Bronson, Bart Hartman, David Rudiman, Devin Dixon, and Kenny Wallace, the top 10. Buzzy Rudiman still 11th. Rich Michael Jr., Joey Galloway, Austin Sanders, and Dale Kelly, your top 15. And it's Dave Poland Jr., Brad DeYoung, Bobby Dixon, Jeff Curl, and at 27 of Greg Amick. The 27 of Michael Turner will be next in line. Then you've got 3 lap cars still out there, actually 4. As Bryce Jewell now takes a peek to the inside of Dale Matheson's 9 car. That's for 3rd. Keep your eye on him as Matheson has kind of slipped out of that groove. And Bryce Jewell just went by. Matheson might have a tire going down. We'll have to check the 9 out. That thing is definitely not handling the way it was before. As the 9 of Roger Kraus begins to challenge him for the 4th spot as Matt Cooper just cruising away. So Cooper was running away from the field until his caution here as a 3-car crash basically. Dale Kelly, Michael Turner, and can't quite see the other one just yet. Dave Poland Jr. in the 88 car. And we'll get set to go back after this thing. So 37 in. Matt Cooper in the 18 car. Can he pull the stunner here tonight? Kevin Adams, can he one-up what he did last year, finishing second? Will it be Roger Kraus, Kyle Bronson, last night's winner Hartman? Here we go. Back to green for your leader, Cooper in 18. I guarantee 5 of them top 10 cars are going to go over the flat here. So remember, cars towards the tail of the field with fresher tires. We'll see if they're able to jump to the upper groove and slice their way through traffic here. Boy, Matt Cooper is dominant. He's gone right back to the race lead, now to a giant advantage in 18. Bottom groove's still the preferred groove, but several drivers continuing to try to roll around the outside here. Curl, Matheson, Galloway and company. And it's working for Matheson a bit. He's gone by Buzzy Rudiman. And Rudiman had taken that spot away, and Matheson went by, but can't get into turn 1. He's better off a 4, but Rudiman better into 1. Now keep your eye on Curl as he goes to work on Bobby Dixon here, and they will battle Austin Sanders now. We'll lose a spot. As Brad DeYoung will go by, and that's a top 10 spot here right now. So it's Matt Cooper, Kevin Adams, and it's Roger Kraus, 3rd, Kyle Bronson, 4 in the 75 of Bart Hartman. And it'll be Devin Dixon, 6. Kenny Wallace is up to 7th. 8th is Rich Michael Jr., 9th is DeYoung, and Austin Sanders right now sits 10th at 64.
Matheson's going backwards.
Sure is. He'll pull off in about 2 laps. He'll be just frustrated and done. Unless something happens to start working. So Matt Cooper has had basically no challenges from the drop of the green. We thought that may change a bit after the fuel stop, but really, he has continued to absolutely blister the field here. Kevin Adams, Roger Kraus now into the top 3, and Kraus will battle with Adams. Outside of the top 3, it's still Bronson and Hartman, Dixon, Wallace. As Matt Cooper's not too far away from seeing the back of the field, though, as a couple of cars still trying to roll around the outside here. Matheson and the 27A of Amick. Weekly, the next driver, going to pull out of action. He'll slide his 6 car off onto the infield. He was one of those drivers who was 1 lap down to the race later, so he knew he couldn't get back on the lead lap and has had enough. Getting close to the 50 mark here, though. 46 in, working on 47 this time when Matt Cooper comes by. Cooper now will trip the line. It'll be 47. So Cooper on the back of the field. He's got 3 or 4 cars right there. We'll see if he's able to sneak by any of them. Greg Amick, the first one, in danger of losing a lap. He will. Mason Big Eagle in danger of losing his 2nd lap. Boy, Matt Cooper not taking it very easy through lap traffic. He and Big Eagle almost got together. So it continues to be Cooper, Adams, Kraus. Kevin Adams has gotten by, and he's got 1 lap car now, 2 lap car, as Big Eagle goes down a 2nd lap. Michael Turner going to lose a lap to your race leader. Matt Cooper here in the 18 car as Adams tries to sneak his way through, but now he's got 3 lap cars between himself and your leader. But Matt Cooper sideways. Well, he was sideways. Boy, he has abused that right rear tire. We're on lap 50, which means we've still got 25 to go. As Adams working his way through lap traffic, Kraus trying to come right with him. Cooper working on Matheson, trying to put him a lap down as Adams in a 3-wide battle with 2 lap cars here. Kevin Adams knows he's got to go, or Matt Cooper's going to be long gone and not able to be caught. And he's gotten his way through there. Roger Kraus and Kyle Bronson will now try to do the same thing here as Cooper has gone by Matheson, and he will work on Dale Kelly. So it depends what race you're watching, but that's a pretty good one right there. Battle for 2nd and 3rd, actually 3rd and 4th now. But 3 lap cars, 2 other cars on the lead lap. Hang on, Kraus and Big Eagle almost got together. Kraus will sneak through. As Matt Cooper now on the back bumper of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars battling for position right in front of him as Kevin Adams is there and Matheson will pull up late. Dale Matheson going to pull up late here in turn number 3, and we'll see if the yellow blinks on. It is almost surely going to have to, and it does. So Dale Matheson, the Minnesota racer who set quick time tonight, unfortunately will be done here for the evening, it appears, unless he's going to go in and change tires again, but here we go. Caution lights have gone down. 53 laps in the books of this 75 lapper. Can Matt Cooper continue his onslaught here up front in 18? And Cooper going to go right to work. Kevin Adams going to try to steal it from him. Here comes Buzzy around the outside. Kevin Adams going to try to challenge on the restart. This is the time to do it, right? Got nothing to lose right here. Adams going to try to pull up alongside of your race leader. Matt Cooper able to fend him off for the time being here. Adams living dangerously way up on the outside. Slipped onto that second groove of rubber just a little bit. A good effort, though, and he'll try to challenge him again if he can reel him back in here. 55 laps in this time, 20 to go for your leader, Matt Cooper. Continues to be Matt Cooper, Kevin Adams, Roger Kraus, Kyle Bronson, and the 75 of Bart Hartman. Outside of your top 5, it's still Devin Dixon, then the 36 of Kenny Wallace, but then a good battle here. Rich Michael Jr. and the 7 of Brad DeYoung. So we're getting closer, inching our way towards the checkered here as Kenny Wallace, Rich Michael Jr., and Brad DeYoung, a good 3-car battle for the 7th, 8th, and 9th spots. As Bryce Jewell has now gotten back into the top 10 as Austin Sanders backsliding here as he jumped out of that groove. Roger Kraus continues to challenge Kevin Adams now for the 2nd spot behind your race leader, Matt Cooper's 18. Brad DeYoung about spun. He may have a tire that has gone down. Well, maybe not. Yes, I think he did. That thing.
Oh, no, don't.
Hang on,
dare.
Brad DeYoung.
Don't you dare.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Brad DeYoung in turn number 1, I think had a tire go down. He had something happen in turn number 1. He slid high, and he was working his way off turn 2 on the high side, and he wanted to get out of harm's way. I know what he was thinking. He wanted to get out of there, but he ducked down to try to get to the infield right as the field was coming by. And unfortunately, several cars with nowhere to go as they were fully committed running down there. And Matt Miller, one of them, Mason Big Eagle, another. There's one more that was still involved. Joey Galloway, so both the Canadians.
Someone went over his wheel.
Yeah.
What was he thinking?
Here we go. Let's do it again. Matt Cooper set to bring us back to the green one more time in 18. Kevin Adams went roaring back to the cushion in the 40 car. See if that momentum can carry him where he needs to go on the back straightaway. And keep your eye on Bryce Jewell now. Remember, Jewell went in, changed the tire. He has raced his way back into the top 10. In fact, he's 8th. Bryce Jewell is up to 8th in the 0. He's working on Kenny Wallace now. Jewell right around the outside. He's going to the outside of Wallace. He's going to steal that spot. Here comes Bryce Jewell. Jewell was 3rd at the fuel stop. He changed the tire, went to the tail. He is now 7th and charging. So Bryce Jewell, the one to keep your eye on in the 0. Bart Hartman now going to work to the inside of Kyle Bronson. Bronson may have a tire. No, he doesn't. He just slipped out of the groove here, and Bart Hartman went by. Bart Hartman has gone out of the 4th spot here, and the caution is out for Buzzy Rudiman. So Buzzy Rudiman will bring us down under another caution here as the double O car stops in the middle of the back straight away up against the wall over in turn 2. And Rudiman will head pit side in the double 0. So we're inching closer, 60 now in, 15 to go. And I have a feeling a lot is going to happen in these last 15 laps. Here we go. Cooper in the 18 car. Now we'll have to contend with Roger Kraus, Kevin Adams, Kyle Bronson, and Bart Hartman as we're ready to come back. 14 to go for Cooper in 18. Kevin Adams again going to try to use the outside group. Not so high that time though, and Adams will go back to work on the 9 of Kraus. The 75 and the 40B in a good battle as well. Adams going to try to roll around the outside, and he did. Kevin Adams will get back to the outside of Roger Kraus. Can he sneak back in before Kraus gets to the corner? He will. Kraus going to try to challenge. But Kevin Adams will take the 2nd spot momentarily, and here comes Kraus again. Roger Kraus, Kevin Adams, a great battle for the runner-up spot here as Matt Cooper. Loving that because he's driving away up front. So Matt Cooper here in the 18 with a 10-car length lead on Roger Kraus, and we will come to the 10 to go mark next time by, and here comes Bart Hartman. Bart Hartman in the 75 has gone to work on Kyle Bronson, and there goes the 2. Devin Dixon thought better of it, though. He thought he saw an opening, and it closed in a hurry. As the 17 of Rich Michael Jr. with a problem. He slipped up, lost 2 spots, but he's back in the racing groove. So it's Matt Cooper in 18, Kraus, Adams, Hartman, and Bronson now. Roger Kraus now beginning to slide around the racetrack. He may have a tire that has lost the tread. We'll see if Kraus able to hold off Adams here as Adams continuing to charge. As we are not too far away from the 5 to go mark here. 7 to go this time by. Austin Sanders and the 27 of Amick. We got a car around. Your defending champion Devin Dixon's around. Devin Dixon, your defending race winner, sits backwards over in turn number 2 here, and Dixon running in the top 5 all night long, or right around the top 5 anyway. So Devin Dixon will get pointed the right direction. We'll see if he heads pit side or remains on the racetrack. It is still Matt Cooper, Roger Kraus, Kevin Adams. Now Bart Hartman has gone by Kyle Bronson. He's 4th. Bronson's 5th. 6th is Wallace. Kenny Wallace just kind of hanging out there in the top 10 all night long. Now he finds himself in 6th. 7th is Bobby Dixon. 8th, Rich Michael Jr. 9th, Buzzy Rudiman. And 10th, Jeff Curl. And it's Dale Kelly, Austin Sanders, Joey Galloway, Dixon, and then the 2 lap cars of Amick and Turner continuing to run on the racetrack. 17-minute fuel stop here in the middle as well. So Cooper would love for this thing to be done, no doubt about it. He's got a handful of laps yet to try to hold off Kraus, Adams, Hartman. The 40 of Bronson. Wallace all of a sudden is there. As we're set to do it again, here we go. Caution lights have gone down again around Eastbay Raceway Park, and we're ready to come back to green for Matt Cooper in 18. Again, Matt Cooper will try to pull away from Roger Kraus here as we get towards the end of this 75 lap A main. Bart Hartman will go to work on Kevin Adams. They'll battle for a podium spot here, as we are close to the 5 to go mark. Everybody kind of fighting for spots here towards the bottom of the racetrack. The next time by, there'll be 5 to go. Matt Cooper with 6 to go, leading in the line. Then it's Kraus, Adams. You can see the smoke off the right rear. Kyle Bronson's 40 now. Bronson in the 40B may be in danger of having a tire go down as smoke beginning to emit. 5 laps remaining here in this finale on the 14th annual Winter Nationals. Kevin Adams again going to challenge Roger Kraus. Kraus may have a tire issue as well, as Adams going to try the crossover move. They will battle for the runner-up spot. No contact. They'll stay out there. No problem. Adams took a crack at it. As Kraus able to fend him off for the time being. Matt Cooper. Less than 5 to go. Now Rich Michael Jr. out of the racing groove. Rich Michael Jr. going to try to get back in, and he'll duck back in line behind Austin Sanders in 64. Several other drivers starting to feel a little bit ill handling race cars with a couple laps to go here. Matt Cooper, however, 2.5 laps away from a dominating performance. Almost a crazy dominant performance, and there went a tire on Kyle Bronson's 40. Thought that right rear may not make it all the way to the checkered, and it does not appear it will. 2 to go from the flag stand. We'll see if Cooper gets the wider and Bronson rolls to a halt. Bronson will stop, and a caution will fly.
Dun, dun, dun.
So Kyle Bronson, just like we thought, we saw smoke off the right rear a couple of laps ago. And it did not quite make it to the checkered, so the caution out. Another one of our top 5 runners will fall by the wayside here, and all of a sudden, there's the Herminator into the top 5. So it's still Matt Cooper, Roger Kraus, Kevin Adams, Bart Hartman, and now it's Kenny Wallace 6th. How about Buzzy Rudiman from the tail twice? He went in at the fuel stop, changed the tire. Then he caused a caution on lap 60. Went in, came back out. He's up to 6th. And it's Bobby Dixon 7th, Curl 8th, Kelly 9, Sanders 10, Galloway 11, Michael Jr. 12, the 27 of Amick, 27 of Turner, and the 2 of Dixon. It looks like we're going racing here, so we will lose Kyle Bronson. So, here we go. Green, white, checkered, 2 laps for Matt Cooper and company as we get set to bring him back to the green, this time by Matt Cooper again will try to drive away. Adams goes to work again on Kraus. Kevin Adams going to down to the inside, and he'll get him. Roger Kraus going to slide up. Kevin Adams going to pull to the inside. Side by side on the back straight away. Coming to the line. White flag will be out. Who will be second to the line? We know it'll be Cooper first to the line. Adams will get him back. So Kevin Adams and Roger Kraus will battle. Down to the line this time by final lap. Here it is. Into turn 3. He led all 75 laps. Race Badger winner Matt Cooper in 18.
Was he on the outside?
So, ladies and gentlemen, he's coming out of the race car. Give him a hand, Matt Cooper in 18.
Let's talk about the race just a little bit. 11 cautions, a 15-minute fuel stop, which was planned, an hour and 20 minutes or so for the thing from start to finish. Were you just waiting for that checker to come up?
No, it was a lot of time to think about what was just to go wrong.
You know, the funny thing about it is, at the fuel stop, you had really nobody really contested you other than when you were in lap traffic a little bit. You had to work your way through lap traffic. Adams caught up and a couple of those guys. But really, this car was outstanding until the fuel stop. Usually, when a fuel stop comes, weight changes and you put more fuel in, crazy things happen. It didn't to this car. It was flawless.
It was awesome, and it's a new Mark Bush fresh car, and it's awesome.
How about it? Congratulations, Matt Cooper in 18.
Welcome to Grassroots Racing Show. I'm Roger Thompson with co-host brother Douglas Thompson. We just finished watching this East Bay race with the modifieds, and was that exciting. And by the way, Buzzy, you did pretty well.
I did. I got, well, I finished like 6th.
You finished 6th, but boy, you had to do it the rough way.
Oh,
Let's see what you did.
I was in the pits. I came from the back twice.
You didn't. You started 15th, then you were down to 10th at a fuel start, and then you restarted 15th, and then you caused a caution on lap 60, probably went to the back. No, it wasn't. They restarted you at 15th, and you finished 6th, and they keep saying to everybody, you're 71 years old, as if that's old.
Yeah, I don't understand that part of it. It's like
No.
saying the 38-year-old won.
Yeah, or the 19, or whatever it was.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, the winner was Matt Cooper, and Matt led the entire 75 laps, endured 11 cautions, and that's a lot of cautions. That's given the competition a lot of chances to close up and figure out the best way to get around you. That's tough to do.
And Kenny Wallace and David Rudiman did not get by him,
No.
which is saying quite a bit.
I think Kenny, what did he finish, 4th or 5th?
7th.
7th?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good racing. You know, that paid $5,000, and that young man, Matt Cooper, was from Tennessee. And I think that race, as I counted when they were going through the introduction, there was 11 drivers from Florida and 13 from outside of the state. So it was a good mix. The locals did a good job, and the group traveling in made the adjustments on their car, and got pretty darn quick.
They said that's the most money that Matt had ever won in any race he'd been in, and he counted that money 4 different times.
Did he?
In front of all the other drivers, he'd say, see what I won.
See what I won, what you could have won if you could have passed me on any of those 11 restarts.
Yeah. Very humble guy.
Yeah, that would be a humble moment for him. Well, he obviously did a good job, and I see he was driving a brand new Mark Bush Racing Bandit car with a Mullins engine. And I bet as soon as he got home, he took some of that $5,000, went right back over to there and said, make me another car.
Because, no, I'll bet he said, here's what I owe you on the present car.
Yeah, that could
That's
be.
the way most racers are.
That's probably what Mark was his biggest fan in the stands, rooting for him, or Mullins on the engine, said, go, go, go. Well, as always, Mike Kraft does an excellent job. Him and the film crew, they brought some really good racing from Eastbay, and that was another one. And kudos to Mike for the interviews that he does, the good film work, and making the trip to Eastbay. That's a long ways to go to cover racing, so that the fans up here with the Grassroots Racing Show.
And now we get to go see the dirt lake models.
Dirt lake models will be
at
next.
Eastbay, right.
Next race will be from Eastbay again.
Right.
And that's the late models. Good deal. Thanks for watching. You've been watching the Grassroots Racing Show. Thank you.